All right, so I'm going to do a video on installing a QuietCool. This is the CL-4700. Ordered it yesterday Amazon, came in today on a pallet. All right, so basic stuff here.
All right, so that piece of cardboard I just threw is actually the template you're going to use to trace out the cutout in your ceiling. Now this next portion, all I'm doing is unboxing it. This first baffle disconnects really easily. You'll need it disconnected to be able to mount it inside your ceiling on your joists or your rafters. Now the fan and the duct assembly, I actually plugged it in and I used the remote and I paired the whole system together. There is a video on this on QuietCool's site. In this portion, I'm just opening up the boxes to show you what's inside. So in here is the actual grate that will mount to the ceiling area, attaching to the baffle. That's pretty much it. I was looking for some instructions. Essentially, it's all in a video on QuietCool's website, and it's very basic. It's kind of a pre-made attic space that teaches you exactly kind of the basic stuff. So I made the video because my attic is much smaller than their setup, so you can kind of see what it's like to do this from my perspective.
So the location decided is somewhere in here. So I'm going to crawl up into the attic and find a spot. I did a measurement off of that light because I'll use it as a reference point, and I'd like to be somewhere here. So we'll see if I can find a rafter spacing there that's 16 on center. All right, now we climb up. This is the template for marking. Bring some tools up. All right, here we go. Get this out of the way. Template we're gonna need. The light, a little bit of tools. Okay, there's our spot that I marked out. So we're gonna throw this template. We're gonna throw this in there, and then each corner, I have my drywall knife. I'm just gonna poke the corners, then I'll go back down, use this template, put it up against there, and use a pencil to outline it, and then I'll cut it from down below. Be right here. All right. So we got one corner here. Next corner. Next corner. Last corner. All right. Template back down. Got my little spots. Time to draw. All right, so we got our 4 spots, 4 corners. Let's line these up. Now we trace. All right, now we cut. All right, so we're doing 16 on center, so these flaps have to come off. In the video, it said there's screws, but it looks like they're just like pinched into place, from what I can tell. Yeah. So I'm just going to unpinch them. So now that will fit in. This will hold on there, and then throw in screws into the studs on each side from the center. So I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up and push this through the hole, and then I need you to help with it looks like it. I'm just going to unhook this from here. So I'm gonna need your help to, this duct has to go through this hole, so I'm gonna throw this up here right now, and then I'm gonna go up there, and you're gonna hand me that duct so I can drag it up there. In the attic, yep.
But if you do that, then won't I hit this wall?
Nope, you'll see.
I'll leave the frame where the
All right, go ahead and hand me the duct. Almost, almost. All right, got it. Yep, feed me the rest. Yeah, keep feeding it to me. Got it. Thanks. Thank you. Nope, all good, thanks.
Now in this next section, it's all about electrical. If you've got your electrical figured out, skip this whole process. Essentially, I'm taking that wire and I'm going to put it into a box and a actual outlet. So I'll make a chapter for just this part so you can skip it.
All right, don't know where it goes, but I think we're going to use this hot wire. We're going to install a box right here. Let's go down, turn the power off.
Now this next part kind of goes without saying, this is a DIY project, so check your local county codes on what kind of box you can install and how you can run this stuff and if it needs a dedicated circuit. QuietCool lists all those disclaimers, but I feel like it's necessary to say in here. I do a lot of electrical stuff throughout the house and throughout homes that I've lived in, so this isn't a major challenge for me, but just take a precaution with that.
All right, so the wire can loop still around. Have it be just above the insulation area.
All I'm doing here is securing the box to the actual rafter so that it's in place, doesn't get moved around. Essentially, you may have to put in the middle box or something else. Again, I'm using what I had and I'm rolling the dice. So check your local county codes. Here I'm just peeling back the hot wire and the neutral wire, and then I'm going to secure the outlet into the box. This is a live non-switching wire, so it's controlled just from the breaker. It's also attached to some ceiling lights and miscellaneous stuff throughout the house.
All right, found the screw. Putting this stuff in place.
Now, I haven't had a chance in the rest of the video to mention this, but essentially I'm going to link everything that I'm using in this project in the description and in a pinned comment. So if you're curious about the tools that I used and or the actual QuietCool system, there will be a link down below. One quick mention, I don't talk about it live, so to get this baffle in there, you kind of have to put it at an angle and push up one angle to get it over and above the drywall to then bring it back down into place. And this next portion, the baffle was a little larger than the hole I cut, so I ended up using a screwdriver and a pair of pliers to pry it down into place. All I'm doing here is throwing in the supplied wood screws to hold the baffle into the studs. There's just 4 screws for that. Now the grate itself is held in with some drywall screws. It doesn't attach to the actual piece. I'll mention that in a second here, but they just lightly go into the drywall, taking off the corner plastic covers in the meantime.
So this did just kind of push into place. No screwing to the actual damper. All right, view from up here. Essentially now I got to connect this to that. I got to hang this thing someplace. It says to have it at a little bit of an angle so it doesn't blow across the insulation. Even though this is rolling, still, who knows. So here we go. All right, so it was a little dark. Couldn't use the glasses, so I needed to do this separately. I found a rafter, threw a screw in. The straps are really nice. They actually just slide over the screw so you can secure it afterwards. I have it kind of hanging loosely. I'm going to fit this around. This has a nice locking collar. What I found in the other piece that I attached to the plenum, I had to unscrew it a little bit to get it to go around and then latch. So we're going to try again right now.
Now, what I will say is that I wish I had done this before I mounted the fan up because I was kind of trying to fight getting the collar over the fan, and the fan is moving because it's on the straps hanging. So maybe secure it before you hang it.
All right, last little step. Get this into a rough 90. It says to secure that. I don't think we're gonna get 90 degrees out of this, but all right. I think that's as good as she's gonna get for me. And that's supported. Thanks to my daughter's scissors here. Clean that up. Everything goes back in the bag. Now my very last step is to plug it into the constant power source. All right, we got power there. Breaker's on. Let's go downstairs and that looks pretty good. Okay, check it out. All right, project is done. Got it tested out. It comes with this wireless transmitter here that I did pair again before I installed any of this. It's always it feels delayed. You hit it, change it to high. This is a 2-speed motor. Takes a second to kick in. That's as loud as it gets. It really is. I mean, about as loud as the HVAC, I would say, but not bad. You can control the timer. Change it once when it'll flash. It shows it's a 2-hour timer on low. When it stops, that means it's been received. You can change the timer. If I want just on all the time, it'll flash everything. If I want 1 hour, it'll flash like that. Now it'll run for 1 hour on low, which is about what I want to kind of draw in the rest of this morning cool air. So that's it. We'll see how it does tonight on its first cool night.